All rise. Once again, District Court will come to Washington State of Michigan is now back in session. The Honorable
May be seated. Bring Sanders now. I have to clear that aisle because they're bringing somebody out. Court recalls the case of the People's State of Michigan versus Quinard Sanders.
Anderson is appearing on behalf of the people.
Michael Gaddy, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Sanders, who's here to my right. State your name, Mr. Sanders.
Quinard Sanders.
Your Honor, thank you for recalling this case. I wanted to clarify something that when arguing bond, I had said Mr. Sanders had not appeared in court because of his not being well. I'd like to point out he was in the hospital. In fact, I think the February PCC was adjourned. Based on that, I do have a letter to that effect. He was a victim of a stabbing, and then later his lung collapsed, and he went back to St. Joe's. I don't have any clarification as to that right now, but we can certainly endeavor to get it if the court would like to see it. But he does report that he did contact our office about that. In terms of the medication he's not able to get, it's a pain patch, which kind of makes sense, which explains it. And again, I have contacted parole about this matter a couple times, and I was able to speak to the supervisor once, who instructed me to call him back again at 8 in the morning, and I did, and it didn't work out. But it's Mr. Sanders' understanding that if he is released, he will get put on a tether by MDOC and reinstated on parole, with his discharge date being backed out to February 26th, but I'm not able to verify that. But that's his understanding as well, and
That's his understanding, but they haven't verified that's what they're intending.
I have not been able to verify that. He reports that his family member, his mother, has spoken to the parole supervisor, Chase Dozell. I believe is how you pronounce his name, and that's his understanding. And he does have a place to reside, Your Honor, which is here in town on Gulf Side. I just want to make sure the court had all that information.
Yeah, some of that is a bit different than court procession, but overall, it would not change the court's view of whether or not to reinstate the defendant's bond or to do something different. I appreciate the clarification. It's the court's decision that the defendant's bond will remain the same, so that the motion is denied.
Your Honor, one thing came to my attention since we passed the matter. I had sent an email to the explaining police officer who's involved in this case. Has already responded that he is out of town on vacation. That we set this exam. We set it for May 6th.
Yes.
I don't know if the court would entertain right now my request to bump that 1 week in light of that information, but it doesn't appear that we will be able to proceed to exam on May 6th due to his own availability. And this is a single witness exam.
Well, he's got the parole hold anyway, so I'm going to put it to May 13th.
Your Honor,
1 week out over the objection of
Would that be for the 13th?
13th at 9. That still would be before me.
and we would object to the move, Your Honor. But in terms of his bond or his exam date's moving out, if we are able to ascertain some more or obtain some more information from St. Joe's about his hospitalization, I'd ask the court to consider a motion to.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be done one of two ways. You can either send the information to me for my consideration, or if you contact my office and would like it scheduled when on a PCC day. So for me, that's going to be the 1st to 6th prior to this 13th date. Certainly, I would entertain hearing it, depending on what the docket looks like.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls case People versus David Lee Furman. Madam Attorney General, if you could take your appearance, please.
Yes, good afternoon. Assistant Attorney General Clarissa Williams on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Edward Drukas on behalf of David Furman.
Mr. Furman. You state your name, please?
Thurman.
Thank you. He shut off his camera, but I saw him. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, there might be a nollie press in the file.
Is there? She did tell me that there was, okay. So this case is being dismissed. All right, case is dismissed. That's by Nally Pross. Court has signed that. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Your
Mr. Furman.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case of People versus Jacob Jackson. It's also an Attorney General case.
Good afternoon, Laura Yagi, Assistant Public Defender, with and on behalf of Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, could you unmute yourself and state your name for the court?
Jacob Jackson.
What are we doing?
Your Honor, Mr. Jackson and I discussed waiving his preliminary examination. Unfortunately, because he's on Zoom, I don't have a signed waiver. I'm wondering if the court
Is
would
he
be...
going to waive? He wants to waive.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, is that correct? You want to waive your right to a preliminary examination?
Yes.
You understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed and that you committed it.
Yes.
You understand that you'll not have that hearing and you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes.
All right. People also waive their right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on the single count. Ms. Yagi.
We would waive formal reading and stand mute.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be set for
June 17th at 1:30 p.m. Judge.
Judge who? June 17, 2025, 1:30, Judge Conkey. Bond continued. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think I have one more for you, Madam AG. Court does call the case of the People versus Joseph Wynn.
And Laura Yagi, Assistant Public Defender, with and on behalf of Mr. Wynn. Mr. Wynn, can you state your name for the court?
Joseph Wynn.
Yes, Ms. Yagi.
Your Honor, I am asking for an adjournment in this matter. Mr. Wynn and I have been in communication, but we are asking for a little bit more time for me to look into a couple things and for him to get set up online with the payments.
All right. That objection, I'll adjourn probable cause May 15th, 2025, 9 a.m., or as your invite indicates. Bond will continue. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think that's it. Madam Attorney General. Court does call the case, People versus Armani Taylor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sydney Rushing appearing on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, can you please state your name for the record?
Hello, Taylor.
Thank you.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, we're asking for a brief adjournment so that way we can receive discovery.
Say that again. I don't know what's happening to my speaker.
Your Honor, we're seeking an adjournment so that way we can receive discovery and review it.
Probable Cause Conference, May 15th, 2025, 9 a.m., or as your invite indicates, bond continued.
Thank you so much, Judge. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Court does call the case of the People versus Harold Martin. Ms. Flumai.
Your Honor, Alexis Blumeier appearing on behalf of Mr. Martin. And there's no Mr. Martin in the courtroom.
No.
Your Honor, I have not been able to get in touch with Mr. Martin, unfortunately. I don't have an explanation for his absence. I don't believe he's here today. Harold Martin. So, Your Honor, I would...
This be your case? You know, if you want to be your case, let me see what you're charged with. I don't know if you want all this, but I don't know.
I would ask for an adjournment. It looks like our office had contact with him just a couple weeks ago. but I haven't been able to reach him this week.
And Your Honor, the defendant does appear over a year ago. The warrant was recalled recently, but it's not here today, so I respect warrant issue.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear, bond 10,000, cash surety. Warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case People versus Larry McCullough Hawkins.
Alexander, on behalf of the people.
For Yagi, assistant defendant with and on behalf of Mr. McCullough Hawkins, who is approaching. Could you state your name for the court?
Thank you.
In this matter, Your Honor, I do believe we have discovery. There's a 911 call that's en route to our office, so I would respectfully ask that this matter be set for preliminary examination.
That's correct, Your Honor. It was uploaded yesterday, so it should be here by Monday.
People have their witnesses available to 6.
We'll try our best.
Preliminary examination in person, May 6, 2025 at 9 a.m. with Judge Perry. Continued. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
False case, People versus Charles Meade.
Was a friend on behalf of the people.
Mr. Feaster.
Yes, Assistant Public Defender Chinazikari Akinrui, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Charles Meade.
Let me go find her.
At this time, people will be moving to dismiss this case without prejudice to file a knowledge process based on competent and not restorable instead.
Any objection?
No objection at all, Your Honor.
Case is dismissed.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Meade.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
False case, People versus Jeffrey Moore.
People move matters.
Assistant Public Defender Dottie Leave on behalf of Jeffrey Moore stands to my right.
Jeffrey Moore.
Thank you. What are we doing?
And Your Honor, we'd like to be setting the 0206 matter for exam and adjourning the 0707 matter to track along with it.
You want me to do what?
Your Honor, I'd like to set the 206 matter for exam and adjourn the 0707 matter to track that other matter.
To track what other matter?
The 0206 matter.
So you want an adjournment on
707, Your Honor.
Lost me, counsel. I'm just trying to figure out what you want done with these cases. Do you want one of them set for exam?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which one?
206.
Is all discovery on that complete?
It is, Your Honor.
People have their witnesses available to 6.
We'll try, Your Honor.
In this case, preliminary examination will be set for May 6, 2025 at
12 p.m.
12 p.m. noon. That's before me. That's in person, bond continued. Now, what do you want done with this other one?
And the other matter, I want to adjourn to a date approximately around the same date as the exam, as how we're proceeding in that case may depend on how the
I'll
exam.
give you the same date. It's in the morning now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Probable Cause Conference, May 6, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls case People versus Victor Morris Gerard.
On behalf of Mr. Mr. State your name for the record.
Victor Moore-Shura.
Your Honor, in regards to the probable cause conference, we're requesting an adjournment. There was still some outstanding discovery that we requested.
You have a green sheet?
That's for now. I've got it right here, though.
I don't mind it now, but we do have a problem. Cause Conference, 2025. As to the bond violation.
As to the bond violation, Your Honor, I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Gerard. Your Honor, he takes full accountability. He's indicated to me that he has been struggling with depression, and obviously now knowing that this issue is much bigger than we talked about treatment opportunities. In the report from they did indicate that they have made a referral for CCOP on his behalf as well. He has not spoken with Mr. Brown to see where they are with that program, but I just asked the court to at least give us the opportunity to explore that option and see if we can get him into outpatient treatment.
No, you might be able to get him into outpatient treatment, but, he's clearly in violation because they have had 4 successive tests where he's positive for cocaine, amphetamines, and then his last test positive for cocaine and then alcohol, but before the confirmation test on the alcohol, he left the building.
And I did ask him about that, Your Honor. I think that was just a misunderstanding. He stated that he did not know that they needed him to stay in the building to do any other follow-up tests, but I've explained to him that once there is a positive alcohol test, that they require the confirmation test.
Anything else?
Nothing else.
So I set it for May 6th, 9 a.m. At this point, defendant's bond is revoked.
Thank you.
Court calls case people versus Justin Robinson.
And agenda, we have people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Carson Bobese on behalf of Mr. Justin Robinson, who's present to my right. Mr. Robinson, can you state your full name for the record, please?
Justin Robinson. Thank you. What are we doing?
Today is the date and time set for a PCC. We'd be respectfully requesting to set this for a preliminary exam at this time.
Well, discovery complete.
To my knowledge, yes. We would ask for the earliest date available.
People have their witnesses available to 6.
We'll do our best.
Preliminary examination in person will be set May 6, 2025,
9 a.m. before Judge Perry.
9 a.m. before Judge Perry. I will consider. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court does call the case people versus Melton Rucker.
Carmen Adish on behalf of Mr. Rucker. Assistant Public Defender Carmen Adish now, officially. Can you say your name for the record?
No records. All right. Sir, you need to take your hand out of your pocket, please.
You can take your hand out of your pocket.
Are you having problems hearing me at all?
I'm deaf in this ear.
All right, hold on. We'll get you.
They're going to give you that. Thank you. Together.
That's not a team thing.
You can
That's you being in everybody's business. That's all that is. That doesn't make a team.
you know, whatever the outcome, you can get all credit.
She's just in everybody's stuff. Does that help you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, we're going to be asking for an adjournment. I hadn't been able to get in contact with Mr. Rucker. It is because he isn't able to have a phone based on his bond conditions. I was going to request that he be able to buy a flip phone and use it, one that does not connect to the internet. That way we are able to talk to him about his case.
Oh, I see. People have a position on this.
Does he have another bond condition that says no phone use, or is it no using a device?
That's the internet connection.
So he's able
The
to.
device is connected.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk about that later.
Where do you get a flip phone? Never mind. My bad.
From somewhere, I don't know.
What?
I can Google it. I'm not sure right now. I have one in my room. No, it's my old one.
You are not old enough to have had a flip.
It's not. It technically it slides. It doesn't flip. It slides.
You are not old enough to have a true flip phone. I'm just telling you right now.
All right. I'll get rid of it.
People stopped using those probably when you were about 2.
That's so funny.
All right.
All right.
I'll turn this to May 15, 2025, 9 a.m. If you arrange for the flip phone or the non-phone, what I'm going to suggest you do is at least take a picture of the packaging and maybe the serial number above it so that there isn't any miscommunication. Get that to the prosecutor.
Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bond continued. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
He's got it.
I'll take 9.
No, it's okay. See,
Great.
Ms. Cannon was all in the business and everything until it came time to, no, you show back up. Now she's not all up in. Court calls the case, people versus LaDonta Skinner.
And agenda, we have people.
Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Mr. Skinner, who approaches.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Your Honor, we're just seeking to set for preliminary examination on this.
Better be bringing the track shoes May 6th. Discovery complete.
Yes, Your Honor.
People have their witnesses available May 6th.
We'll do our best, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person, May 6th, 2025 at
Well, be on before you.
12 noon before me. Bond continue.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be in touch, okay? All right, good. All right.
Court calls case People versus Iris Smith.
Jennifer Douglas.
Stephanie Cannon on behalf of Mr. Smith, who is not present, Your Honor. I would just ask for a show cause. I'm just asking.
Really?
I'm just asking.
You got that from Daddy, didn't you?
He's
That's probably this team thing.
my hero.
Did you ask him when you got that from him how well that works?
How well does it work for you?
What?
Does it work well?
There's no saying if you don't ask, the answer's always no. The answer's always no.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 10,000, cash surety. That warrant will issue immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Was that a whole team thing too? No, nobody else was like. Court calls the case. People versus Virgil Stafford. Excuse me.
Madam Prosecutor. Stephanie Cannon on behalf of Mr. Stafford, who is also not present, Your Honor. However, I did provide this court with confirmation that he is currently hospitalized at Havenwood Hospital. I've given it to Madam Prosecutor as well. We're just simply asking for an adjournment of this matter. And I do believe there is a green sheet that should have been provided.
But you don't know.
I mean, I feel confident in your staff, so I'm gonna go with yes. Good answer.
In my staff?
Good answer. Good answer. I gave it to Ann.
Just make sure. Right.
I did, I promise. Mhm. Oh, cool. Yes. Good answer. Good answer. Okay.
She had no idea.
I did. So Your Honor, I'm asking for a 2-week adjournment to give me the opportunity to speak with him to see how we're going to proceed on this case.
May 15th, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the bond continues. Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Derek Stewart.
And Your Honor, Alexis Puma appearing on behalf of Mr. Stewart, who is in the vestibule right now.
Wait, did you? Which Stewart?
It's Derek Stewart.
Yelling. Who's that yelling? No, who's yelling? Why were you yelling?
I didn't hear the first name.
Talking about.
And Mr. Stewart, could you state your full name?
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, our office has received a copy of the competency evaluation in this matter. Have gone over it with Mr. Stewart, and we are not objecting to the findings of that report.
I am objecting. That the defendant at this time is incompetent to stand trial, but with treatment would likely regain competence within the statutory period of time.
Yes.
Any other additional evidence from either side?
No.
I need it 3 months because excuse me. Set a review, competency review hearing July 24th, 2025 at council. You'll prepare the requisite order.
Yes, and Your Honor, if I could briefly address bond.
Yes.
So I for whatever reason in OnBase, I'm not able to find the most recent community corrections bond order. But Mr. Stewart is on some kind of a GPS tether at the moment. I'm not sure if it's just tracking or if it's an exclusion zone. That is both very uncomfortable for him, and because he currently doesn't have housing, it's very difficult for him to make sure that it's charged, to get somewhere where he can plug it in. I will note that he has been, at least the last few times that I've represented him, he has appeared on time for court. Nothing, nothing by way of new offenses. He's compliant on bond. He would just ask Your Honor to consider removing that tether.
Any response from people?
Your Honor, I understand it may be uncomfortable, but unfortunately, the nature of these allegations seem to require it. Mr. Stewart is charged.
I'm disabled. What am I?
Pay attention to the judge.
It's your world. I'm just in it.
May I continue?
Go ahead.
The nature of these allegations appear to require Mr. Stewart is charged with one count of witnesses bribing, intimidating, and interfering. Essentially, the allegations in this report describe Mr. Stewart. These are physical confrontations in terms of rushing this individual in this area. Now, him no longer living, I think, close by may assist with that, but I don't have any assurance that Mr. Stewart is going to be able to essentially not contact this person. I might feel differently if we were dealing with text messages and emails and phone calls and that sort of thing. These are physical confrontations.
Your Honor, I do believe Mr. Stewart is no longer living at that location. This incident occurred back in 2022. At the time, I believe Mr. Stewart was still at that apartment complex. He had since been evicted and isn't staying there anymore. It's my understanding that you are usually in downtown Ann Arbor, or Delano's Center as his mailing address. Okay. But either way, I don't think he plans to or has been going back to that location.